of the earth.
Hey, I got to show y'all something. It's a book that I had that I didn't pull out, but I got to show you something. I got to show you, man. We is amongst these folks, man. We just ain't never been taught. Ain't nobody ever taught us nothing.
You're going to learn today.
Go ahead, Rock.
It said when they say from the islands of the sea, a lot of people don't even realize Japan is an island. We there too.
It's an island. For real, though.
Hey, can I bring something out real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because they love to say that Issachar in particular is not the Israelites. They always, them Mexicans, they not Israelites. We just did a show last week dealing with that. But we, like Cap bring it out, we got to show our people, man, we was mingled among the heathen. Give me 1 Ezra chapter 8. It started verse 69, read down to 70 real quick.
Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good right there. Read that. I ain't had that. Good. That's a good precept.
69.
The book of 1 Ezra, chapter 8 and verse 69. Bring it out.
So listen, we got to understand the Bible is the main source of history, but there are also other books that links with the Bible. So when we go to the scriptures and then we bring out these other books, y'all can see the whole entire picture. Read.
The book of 1 Ezra 8:69. The nation of Israel, the princes, the priests, the Levites have not put away from them the strange people of the land.
Go ahead.
Nor the pollutions of the Gentiles, to wit, of the Canaanites,
Of the Canaanites.
the Hittites, the Perizzites, Jebusites, and the Moabites.
And the who?
The Moabites.
So our people during this time, this is during the time of the Persian Mede captivity. We was mingling ourselves. We was dealing with these people during that time. Go ahead.
The Egyptians and Edomites.
Read on.
For both they and their sons have married with their daughters.
See that? See, both their sons have married their daughters. So when people try to bring up their argument and say, oh, the Mexicans, they not Israelites, you ain't reading the Bible. You don't know history. Okay? During this time period, read that verse 70 again.
For both they and their sons have married with their daughters. And the holy seed is mixed with the strange people of the land.
You see that? And the holy seed is mixed with the strange people of the land. That's why when we go over there to China, yes, we're going to see our people with their phenotype. We're going to see that because our people have mixed themselves with those people. Go ahead.
And from the beginning of this matter, the rulers and the great men have been partakers of this iniquity.
You see that? He said, from the beginning of this matter, we have been partakers of this iniquity. Remember when we read in Numbers 25, the Most High like to kill the whole nation because we went dealing with the Moabite women. So listen, we coming back to this history, man. We showing our people what the real deal is.
All praises to the Most High. So, hey, give me that real quick. Hey, that's a fire precept, bro. I'm glad you. Hey, give me that book. Y'all, I see y'all ain't check the chat. Come on, brethren. Or maybe you did, and maybe my phone just jacked up. I don't know. But check the chat for me, okay? It's two pictures I put in there. Show the bottom picture first, which is the cover of the book, and then show inside the book. Because we was talking about how the Israelites is scattered amongst the Moabites. All right? Watch this real quick. Yeah. No. Show the cover of the book so when nobody say that it's something we typed up. You know how folks say, oh, y'all typed that up yourselves. Who got time for that? I got a job. You understand? I ain't got no time to be writing up no damn, no essay to lie to y'all. What the hell is this? No, that ain't it. I put the book in there, brother. Is that the last two things I put? It's the Chinese Jews of the Chinese Jews. Come on, y'all. The theology of the Chinese Jew. Hear me out. There you go, right there. Perfect.
The theology of the Chinese Jews, 1000 to year 1850.
Right. Go inside the book by Jordan Paper. Yeah, read this.
I am convinced that we are not only of the same people, but the same tribe, Saul continued. You know, Jews came to China a century before the Christian era. More than 300 years ago, when their descendants were discovered in Kaifeng by the Jesuits, the priests of false Messiah.
Go ahead.
They bore surnames.
Hey, notice what they call the Jesuits, the priests of the false Messiah. Them Jesuits was Edomites. You understand that? Go ahead.
They bore surnames that seemed wholly Chinese.
So it said the Jews had surnames that looked wholly Chinese. Go ahead.
Chao,
Chin,
Shi, among a few others.
Read.
Lee too, but Lee is of course Levi.
You hear that? But Lee is of course Levi. So the Jews
son,
was amongst.
Where'd you find this?
I ain't heard that in a minute. Damn, son. All right, all praise. So Lee was for Levi. Okay. So yeah, let's get back to it. Y'all know I got to get the running off. Let me keep going for a second. I got a little bit more. All right, give me that forgotten slavery of China. We got about an hour left. Captain Joel, Ah! I'm trying not to jump into He said, Cap, please, just let me start on time. I said, you right, Cap. I'm sorry, man. Go to that picture right there. You can show that image. I know you want to show it. Go ahead. Put it on up. Africans in ancient China. Look at that right there. So we was amongst them, y'all. We was amongst them, okay? Go ahead. Go to the next one. There's an article I had that says Forgotten Slavery of China. Forgotten Slavery of China. Yep, let's read that there. Don't worry about the forgotten slavery of China. Let's read this. Zoom in.
The Great Wall of China is one of the most impressive feats of engineering and human labor in history.
So the Great Wall of China is one of the most impressive feats of engineering in human history. Don't they say the same thing about the pyramids? Who built the pyramids? Come on, man. Play it. I mean, read.
Spanning over 13,000 miles.
Damn.
The wall was built over centuries to protect the Chinese Empire from invaders. Though the wall is often associated with the Qing Dynasty, 221 to 206 BCE, it was actually built and extended by many dynasties that followed. Slavery was commonplace in China during the time the Great Wall was being constructed.
I wonder who those slaves was that built the Great Wall of China. Go ahead.
It is estimated that as many as 2 million slaves were used to build the wall. These slaves were often treated harshly, working long hours in difficult conditions.
Remember we read in Jeremiah 48, the Lord called them mad men. They didn't give a damn. Because I think in the movie, what that movie we were talking about, The Mummy? In The Mummy, he talked about how the slaves were buried under the Great Wall of China. We would die and they would throw us right over and then just bury us up under it. Wherever we would die at from the hard labor. Y'all think this white man the only one that did some evil to you. Nah, Moab did much evil. Go ahead.
These slaves were often treated harshly, working long hours in difficult conditions. Many of them died during the construction process, despite the arduous labor and brutal conditions.
Go ahead.
These slaves who built the Great Wall of China left behind an impressive legacy. Their hard work and sacrifice helped to create one of the most iconic structures in the world.
Iconic structures in the world. And guess who did it? Black folks. Watch this. How I know. Go to that image. Go to up higher to the image real quick. It's an image right there. On the same page is an image. See that image up top? Yep. Show that image, bruh. Look at that, man. Them black folks that's building that. Them ain't Chinese for them black people. Them black slaves that was building that. You understand that? Go from there. Go from there. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. I had an article, but it's gonna take me too far off. Skip over that article. Go to the next thing we had. Do I got time? Do I need time? Yeah, just jump in there. Read this real quick.
History of Community, The Jews of China, History of a Community and Its Perspectives by Carolyn Rebu.
All right. Go to the next page. Yep. Go to the next page. No, right there. I'm sorry. Go back. Let's read that where it says it is important.
Yes, sir. It is important to note the confusing terminology one encounters in the sources. Sometimes the arrival of Jews in China is conflated with their arrival in Kaifeng. The two terms often used interchangeably, despite the fact that Jews, in fact, settled in several locations in China, such as Harbin, Beijing, Shanghai, and Nanking.
So we all in China. Go ahead.
Over the course of history, we will therefore distinguish between these two terms, as may be seen in the table at the end of the chapter.
Now watch this. Go to Isaiah 49, verse 11 through 13. Because it's going to tell you, so we find the first mention of Jews in China in the Bible in Isaiah 49, verse 11 through 13. Isaiah promises that in the end of days, the Jews will return to their land from the four corners of the earth. This verse mentions explicitly that they will even return from China. And then give me that last image that I just posted at the bottom. After you read this, read
the book of Isaiah, chapter 49 and verse 11. And I will make all my mountains away. I will make all my mountains away.
Go ahead.
And my highways shall be exalted.
Go ahead.
Behold, these shall come from far.
These shall come from far.
And lo, these from the north and from the west, and these from the land of Sinim.
Now remember, we just read in Isaiah chapter 43, it said he's going to bring our children from the east. Now he uses a specific land. He says Sinim. Sinim is China. How do we know? Pull up that image that we just showed. Shout out to Bishop Nathaniel for posting. Thank you, Bishop. I'll praise to the Most High. Pull that up real quick. Let's read that. Just read many scholars.
Many scholars have favored identification with China.
So Sinim is China, brothers and sisters. It's China. Go ahead.
The classical Sinai. It seems improbable that Jews had already found their way to China.
And we had already found our way there. We read in Isaiah 16:4 that we was going to be the outcast, was going to dwell in Moab. So this is not nothing that we making up. Like I said, once again, the Bible pinpoints where the children of Israel are today. It's up to us to go find them. All right? And we going to find them, damn it. You're not going to stop us. We going to find them. And when we find them, we going to teach them who they are. And they're going to wake up and repent, and we going home. All right? So best believe that. You finish that out in Isaiah 49? Read 13. I like that.
Verse 13. Sing, O heaven, and be joyful, O earth, and break forth into singing.
So bring forth into singing when you see the purple and gold land in China. When you see the brothers out there prophesying in China, the Bible says, O heavens, and be joyful, O earth, and break forth into singing. Go ahead.
O mountains, for God hath comforted his people.
For the Lord have comforted his people.
And will have mercy upon his afflicted.
And he's going to have mercy upon his afflicted, because in China we have been afflicted. Y'all don't pay no attention to nothing. I'm trying to show you that right here, right now. Go back to that book I had real quick, The Jews in China. And go to the second page. I don't even know if I want to deal with it. Go to the second page, the number 10. Yep, right there. That's it right there. Read that.
According to sources quoted above, the Jews arrived in India and spread through all the neighboring regions, including Bactria in the 7th century BCE, even before the massive exile that followed the destruction of Jerusalem temple on the 9th of Av in 586 BCE.
Go ahead.
Those remote regions that welcomed them included China and Japan.
So we was in China and, I mean, my goodness. Go ahead.
70 years later, when the opportunity to return to Palestine finally arrived, a small number of Jews, lacking a taste for adventure and unwilling to risk returning to settle again in their homeland, preferred to stay in the hospitable countries in which they had recently established themselves. It is probable that those who wanted to return to the kingdom of Israel had never known the country their family had inhabited before the destruction.
So this is going into them wanting to return afterwards, right? After the destruction. So, go from there, drop that for me, because we still got a ways to go. Give me that next book. It just goes with what the bishop sent us to show that Sinim is China. But watch this. I'm going to show you. There's a book, the cover to a book I showed you called These from the Land of Sinim by Sir Robert Hart. All right, look at that.
These from the Land of Sinim by Sir Robert Hart.
So Sinim is China. How do we know? Look at the Great Wall of China on the cover of the book. Right. They know that Sinim is China. The Lord said he's going to gather his remnant from there. It said, behold, these shall come from far and low, these from the north and from the west, and these from the land of Sinim. That's going into us coming out of this land. Go to the next picture I had. Zoom in real quick. Zoom into the bottom down there. Read that for us.
Canton, 20,000 Chinese Jews, old synagogues of record.
20,000 Chinese Jews. Now, I got another book that I couldn't pull out for the moment that shows we was keeping the Sabbath and Passover and the Day of Atonement. I couldn't pull it out for now, though, for the sake of time. Go to the top of that same page. Look at that. Jews. Oh, look at that. Great massacre of Jews. Look at that. Great massacre of Jews in 854 A.D. You see that? Go over to the top left. I think it's Mongolia. Come on, brothers. My goodness.
Mongol Jews persecuted by Christians.
Whoa. Read it again.
Mongol Jews persecuted by Christians.
Mongol Jews persecuted by Christians. They found a way to come in. And when they say Christians, it ain't talking about our forefathers that became, they followed Christ and became known as Christian, the disciple. It ain't talking about them. It's talking about Edomites. We just looked at them Jesuits that came. It's talking about them. They persecuted our forefathers. What you have?
Zoom out a little bit. I want to see that name in the top upper left-hand corner. Because that says, I know what that says. Is that Genghis Khan?
Genghis Khan.
Genghis Khan, the greatest military. They attribute him to being one of the greatest military rulers of all time. But under the bottom says Jewish Mongol troop.
Yep. Look at that.
What is a nation?
Nation is men leading by example. Nation is is community.